Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio, welcoming you to another edition of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org for more info, or you can email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Joan Stone. We'll be discussing her fantastic book, Carry On, Let There Be Light. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, Goodreads. Guys, listen, wherever books are sold, okay? Get out there and pick up your copy. Or if you want to reach out to Joan herself, you can find her on Facebook under Joan Stone Author. And I will say, Joan was brought to People of Distinction today by some of the best movers in the business. UR Link Print and Media Publishing. So if you have a book that you'd like moved, move it through UR Link. You can find them at urlinkpublishing.com. And guys, listen, it is an absolute pleasure and such a delight to have Joan here on the line with us because, listen, the book we're discussing today, Carry On, Let There Be Light, is such a fantastic book, right? It's a book of poetry, but it's something, guys, I was telling Joan in the pre-screening call, it's something that needs to be on everyone's shelf, okay? Not only given what we're going through right now, just on a day-to-day occurrence. Listen, guys, anybody that has reached a certain age, and by reached a certain age, I'm talking probably anywhere between late teens and above. Once you get to that point, you've experienced some adversity in your life. You've experienced some challenges in your life. And having a book of this magnitude that is just filled with inspiration, filled with just wonderful poems, that at the heart of it, it's a self-help book. It really is just all about being true to yourself, continuing to move forward and staying faithful. Because at the end of the day, guys, you're not alone. Whatever adversity you are experiencing, whatever challenges you are encountering, when we come together, when our human family comes together, when that circle around you is there for you and you know it, right? It may not seem like it at the time, but you always have outlets that way. And even if you don't, this book right here is going to be an outlet in and of itself because Joan has really comprised such an amazing amount of poetry that really is, again, just so inspirational. I'm so excited we have her here on the line because, listen, she's going to read some of her poems. She's going to be able to articulate all the nuances in her book much better than I ever could and relay her personal experiences on how this book started as a way to help her through her own adversity that she was facing, but then had the wherewithal to know that the world would be able to benefit from it as well. I absolutely love that. So without further ado, Joan, first and foremost, thank you so much for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Benji. It's great to be with you. Looking forward to it.
Likewise, Joan. Now listen, before we jump into the book, let's hold off slightly. Tell our listening audience a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm going to be 60 here in February. That's to start with. But it's been a few years since I wrote this book. I'm a recovering alcohol of 17 years. I deal
Congratulations.
with a lot of disabilities, chronic issues, especially with COVID now, compromised immune system, a lot of different things that have held me back. But I've had to accept, that, okay, I'm not the person I used to be, and this is how I am, and I have to deal with this. Mm-hmm. But being a recovering alcohol, I've made lots of mistakes in the past and hurt the ones that I loved me back. And, it's not a pretty thing, I tell you. It kills your soul. It definitely does. So it's about pulling yourself back, caring for yourself enough to get through it all. I live in a very small, really small little hamlet of, I think, less than 40 people in the middle of nowhere in Alberta, Canada. And right now it's minus 46 wind chill. So, yeah, pretty cold here. But you know what? We do the best we can. And that's what we have to do daily, and that's what I do daily. With all my disabilities and everything, I kind of was in a situation where I ended up on my own, so I have to do what I have to do, and I have to carry on daily. That's all I can do. So, yeah, I have two beautiful adult children that they were a part of, like, being a recovering alcoholic. I kind of lost touch with them, or I felt bad and remorse and guilt and everything. But they're both a big part of my life right now, so that's so important. And I'm from a relatively large family. There's 7 of us. And both my parents are still living. My father's really ill right now, but we're just praying for the best, and that God's with him and looking after him. And that's, I'm a pretty just simple person now. Nothing spectacular. I'm just me.
Well, Joan, listen, you seem like a remarkable person. Absolutely a person of distinction. We're truly honored to have you here on the show. Now, let's jump right in. Let's not wait any longer, Joan. Carry on. Let there be light. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, my book was a way of, because of the mistakes I had made and decisions I had made, I really got, and I deal with depression too. So that didn't help. And I got to a point where I felt like I had lost my soul, like it had died. And it was a really dark place I put myself in. And now that the squirrels run ragged and the demons and the squirrels were playing ping pong in my head all the time. And I finally had to figure out a way to pull myself back out of this dark hole that I had thrown myself into, So I had to save myself and restore my faith. And I, did through the years, the odd time I'd write a poem and whatever, but this, I opened up my heart and it just poured out. Like these just poured out because it was me releasing and me trying to save myself and get myself back to where I want it to be. And I'll admit it was a hard time. Like I went through a lot. I really self-sabotaged so bad and got so depressed and so down. But by the grace of God, I did not pick up a drink. That was one thing I'm so grateful for. A lot of gratitude there. Absolutely. But yeah, so my book really, it's about my life and what I had to do to save myself. And it wasn't actually me who decided to write this book. It was friends had suggested. Did it ever occur to you to maybe think about getting that published and helping people? And to be honest, at the time, I was, so selfish and everything and concerned about myself that I never thought of it, So then I had to get honest and look inside and realized, you know what? This really would possibly help other people. Mm-hmm. So that's why I went and got it published and went from there. And like I said, just if I can help one person, it's paying it forward, right? And so this book isn't just a book of poetry. This is me. That book is me, and I want that part of me to get out there to help people. And sorry, I get a little overwhelmed when I think about it. So, but I'm okay. I am okay today.
Absolutely.
I still got a lot going on, but it's one day at a time.
Joan, wonderfully said, first and foremost. Secondly, as I stated before, congratulations on your sobriety. I mean, that is fantastic. Good for you. And I know it's a never-ending road, right? You're continuing to push forward, but you have so many years under your belt, and you are absolutely your story is inspirational, and we are truly honored to have you here. And listen, what you're saying about being emotional, listen, you're passionate, right? This is something that really you care about. It's something that is true to you. As you said, this is your story. And it's not easy. Listen, I'll be the first to say it. I'm an artist myself. And a lot of times it's difficult to hold that mirror up and to even look at yourself in the mirror, let alone holding that mirror up for the entire world to see. And everything that you have done is so commendable.
Yeah.
Joan, as we go on, the next question, I have to ask about the title. I can assume where the title comes from and really the relevance to the book. But you know what happens when you assume, Joan, so I'm not going to do that to you. Talk to our listening audience. Why did you choose that title to be the representation for your book?
The song, Sun. I love that song, and then I realized that's what I do daily is carry on. Like, no, I know some of the words in that song don't really apply to what's going on. It's just there was something about that name, that carry on, because I'd hear that in my head all the time, and I thought, what a better way. And the thing is, my last poem ends with saying carrying on. It was in my heart, like it was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. And the picture in the front of the book is a picture that I took on a path that I walked down. And it was actually my son who helped me pick this picture. And because it's, like I said, this book is me. It's me, It's a picture I took. It's why I chose carry on and let there be light, because, there is light every day, even when it's cloudy or whatever. There's light behind those clouds. We just have to look for it. It's there. It's all the change in perspective.
Absolutely. Guys, just to let you all know, the cover of the book, I'm looking at it now on her Amazon page. And listen, Joan, I hope you know what you're doing by putting that picture on the cover of your book. You guys I know you said you come from a town where it's about 40 people. Well, listen, there's going to be a lot more people visiting where you are in Canada once they see the cover of the book. And just the beautiful scenery. Just from looking at it, it's peaceful, it's serene, the light shining through, it gives you that hope. It is perfectly symbolic with everything you're discussing in the book. It's perfectly symbolic and a great representation to coincide with the title.
Let me back up. That the picture on the front of the book, it actually isn't taken from where I'm at. It's a picture of when I went to the mountains, which is about an hour and a half away from me. There is a small path in this little hamlet, though, that I love, because when you're on the path, it doesn't seem like you're in this little hamlet. It seems like you're just in your own space and out there. It's a beautiful little path here. But when you said that, I looked at it and I thought, well, it's kind of similar, yeah.
Well, either way, there's going to be a lot of people traveling to Canada very, very shortly.
We're all on a path.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, again, here on the line with Joan Stone. We're discussing her book, Carry On, Let There Be Light, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, or wherever books are sold. Joan, listen, my listening audience is going to get very upset with me if I don't hurry up and ask. So let me just go and let's take that leap. We'd love to hear one of your poems that you have readily available that you'll be able to share with us, because everything that you're saying, again, right off the bat, we're easily able to relate and connect to everything. I mean, guys, you may not be able to relate to every single experience that she is discussing, but who among us has not dealt with adversity? Who among us has not dealt with uncertainty in their lives? I mean, this is something that's so universal. This is something we all connect with. And hearing your passion in your voice, listen, we're rooting for you, right? We're right there with you, and we are on your side. We're the team built around you. We love that. So we would love to hear one of your poems, please.
Well, if it's okay with you, I'd like to read a couple of them.
Yes, please. Absolutely.
One being, this one is called Ride the Wave. This one is, I refer to it a lot myself. Be good to yourself. Don't let that slip. Push yourself forward. Keep a firm upper lip. If you're feeling down, find your belief. Once you do, you'll feel a sigh of relief. You feel better about yourself knowing you care. Life goes much smoother when you treat yourself fair. So get on that surfboard and ride the wave, as this is your life you're choosing to save. And the funny thing is, when you were talking about the mirror before, this is why I want to read this one too. It's like, in my room stands a mirror, shiny, beautiful, reflecting fear. When I stand in front of it, what do I see? An empty, lonely person staring back at me, filled with sorrow, filled with pain. Truth be told, I was going insane. Then one day I opened my eyes, got out of bed to a wonderful surprise. I could change the person I see to someone who cares, to someone to be free. Looking through the years, where had I lost control? It's clear to me now they had taken my soul. I can be who I want to be, for God's in my life looking after me. I need to stand tall, stand back, breathe, and see that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. That's just a couple of them.
Joan, listen, I can visually see, and again, it's symbolic, right? The mirror, but it's so profound. In the words that you talk about, the images that you're using, they're so vivid. We've all been in moments where we're insecure and we look at ourselves and we don't see the value within. That is something that is so impactful. And I love the fact that you didn't shy away from it, right? I mean, you can just talk about all, and again, what's great about it is you didn't shy away from it. You recognize the darkness within, but then you also end it with a ray of light, right? It's okay, right? This is hopeful. It's faith. You're going to get past it, but you have to start by acknowledging there's going to be some tough times, right? The path is not always bright and shiny. There's going to be some dark shadows there that you're going to come across on your path in your journey of life. And I love it because it's so real, it's so raw, and it instantly just immerses the audience in. Joan, thank you so much for sharing. Listen, I'd love to ask, Joan, any tips that you can offer our listening audience? Because, listen, you're talking from your perspective. There's moments that you've had on your journey where things were very dark and you weren't sure how you were going to pull through and how you're going to get by, but you kept fighting. You kept scratching, you kept digging. And you also know, and you have the wherewithal to understand that just because I made it through this hurdle, or I made it over this hurdle, doesn't mean that there's not going to be another one in another 50 yards, right? So that's life. It just keeps on coming. But you're someone that, of course, again, you've utilized this to work for you. And it obviously has. Again, the biggest testament to all of that is 17 years of sobriety. That is absolutely incredible. Joan, any tips that you can offer our listening audience, anybody that's out there that may also be going through a tough time in their life, all they see is negativity around them and they're not sure how to push through?
Love yourself. You deserve it. Like you may have to dig deep, but loving yourself, that's the first thing you need to do, because you need to you're able to open your heart up to someone loving you. So it's all about loving yourself first, and never think that you're not good enough, because you are. You truly are. There's going to be potholes, yes. They're bumps. Some can be deeper than others, but like I said, I literally had thrown myself in this huge dark one. And it's about pulling yourself out. Grab hold of that rope and pull yourself out, because nobody can do it for you. And I know that might sound a bit harsh, but it's true. And that is what's mean when I say true to you. You deserve it. Insecurities, vulnerabilities, you name it. And look for that. Look for positivity. There's always something to be grateful for. As hard as it seems, there's always someone worse off than you. You wake up in the morning, the sun's shining, something simple, just any piece of gratitude. It's pretty powerful. But please love yourself enough to save yourself.
That is beautiful, Joan. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Guys, perception is everything. Right? Perception is so powerful. And that doesn't mean that negative things don't still happen. Of course, listen, as she's already said, as I've already stated, guys, there's potholes on the journey, right? You're always going to run into them. You can't avoid them. But the good thing is a pothole, it might cause a flat tire. So you pull over to the side of the road, you change the tire, and you keep it moving, right? You just move right on. And that's really what she's talking about here. That's really what her book is signifying. And perception means everything. It's amazing how when you just start to fill yourself with positivity and fill yourself with positive thoughts, the universe will get out of your way. The universe will start to implement that in your life, and things will start to move in the right direction. It may not happen instantly. It may not be easy. It won't be just rainbows and butterflies forever. but you'll start to build the right patterns. Joan, this has been so impactful for myself, as I'm sure it's been for our listening audience. As I stated when we first started, it has been an honor to have you here on our show. You truly are a person of distinction. I can't think of a better representation, of a truer embodiment of what our network stands for. Thank you so much once again for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction.
Well, thank you so much, Benji. I really appreciate being here. And yeah, what we put out comes back.
Absolutely.
And I love you all. All I can say is I love you all, and just be true to yourselves.